Ever feel like you're on a financial treadmill? You know, you're working harder, you're making more money than you ever have before, but you just can't seem to get ahead. Well, today we're going to break down why that feeling isn't your fault. It's a system, actually. It's called the salary trap, and it's time we talked about it. Yeah, this quote, it hits home for a lot of people, right? It's this crazy paradox where your income goes up, but your financial stress stays exactly the same, or maybe even gets worse. It feels like a personal failure. But what if I told you it's actually by design? That the whole system is built to keep you busy earning, not actually building wealth.
So what exactly is this salary trap? Well, the best way to think about it is as a comfortable prison. It gives you all the things we're taught to want, right? A steady paycheck, benefits, a feeling of security. But that comfort, it comes at a very steep price. And that price is your ability to ever get truly ahead. And here's the really clever part. The trap isn't designed to make you feel broke. No, quite the opposite. It's designed to make you feel just successful enough that you never stop to question the game itself. You've got the decent car, the nice apartment, all the subscriptions. You have a lifestyle. But here's the key. A lifestyle is not the same thing as wealth. Okay, so how does this thing actually work? How does it keep so many smart, hardworking people stuck? Well, it uses two very powerful, almost invisible tools: fragmentation of your money and inflation of your lifestyle. Let's dig into the first one.
To make this real, let's meet Sarah. Now, on paper, Sarah's crushing it. An $85,000 salary puts her in the top fifth of all earners. Statistically, she's doing great. But how she feels, well, that's a completely different story. So, after the government takes its cut, this is what lands in Sarah's bank account every 2 weeks. Almost $2,500. And when you see that number pop up, it feels good. Your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. It feels like progress, like success. But the system is already waiting to tear that number to pieces. And boom, there it goes. Look at this. Before Sarah even has a moment to think about saving or investing, her paycheck is already gone. Rent slices off nearly half of it right away. Then the car, the groceries, the utilities, all these non-negotiables just fragment her income into nothing. And what's left at the end of it all? $48 for 2 weeks of work. It's just wild.
This is the first major weapon of the trap. It's called the illusion of prosperity. It's a psychological trick, really. Because the money comes in as one big, satisfying chunk, you feel rich for a second. But it leaves in a dozen different directions, death by 1,000 tiny cuts. So you never really feel the full weight of how much is going out the door. You just know you're living a certain lifestyle. Now for the second, even more sneaky mechanic: lifestyle inflation. As our salary grows, our brain tells us, hey, we've earned it, time for a reward. So what do? We upgrade. We get that nicer apartment, we buy the better car, we start taking those vacations. And just like that, every single dollar of that new raise is eaten up by a new, more expensive lifestyle.
Man, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? That raise you worked so hard for, it doesn't actually buy you more freedom. It just buys you a more expensive set of obligations. They call them golden handcuffs for a reason. They feel nice, but they just chain you even tighter to the job you need to pay for them. And don't think for a second this is just for people starting out. Let's talk about David. 6-figure income, great job in tech. But with the mortgage, the car payments, the private school for the kids, he was totally trapped. He got a huge $20,000 raise and felt this wave of relief. But within a few months, it was all gone, swallowed by new expenses. His stress level didn't budge, not one bit.
Okay, so at this point, it's really easy to think, well, just be more disciplined, right? But it's so important to understand that this is bigger than just our individual choices. This is about the fundamental design of the system we're all operating in. And here's the bottom line. Your dependency is profitable. When you need every single dollar from your next paycheck just to cover your bills, you become the perfect consumer. You're a guaranteed revenue stream for landlords, for banks, for corporations. You can't afford to quit your job, you can't take a risk on a business, you can't negotiate because you're trapped, you're predictable.
And if you feel this way, you are so far from being alone. I mean, just look at this number. More than 60% of professionals couldn't keep their current lifestyle for more than 1 month if their paycheck stopped. 1 month. This isn't a story of personal failure. It's a systemic vulnerability. This is the comfortable prison in action. All right, that was a little heavy, I know, but here's the good news. Once you can see the bars of the prison, you can start planning your escape. So let's talk about how to actually dismantle this trap. Let's talk about the escape plan.
The absolute first step is a massive mindset shift. You have to stop confusing income with wealth. They are not the same thing. Your salary is just what you trade your time for. It's temporary. Wealth is what you own, assets that work for you even when you're sleeping. One keeps you on the treadmill, the other is the key to getting off for good.
So here's the playbook. It's a 3-step plan. First, you have to create the gap. This is non-negotiable. You must find a way to spend less than you earn. Second, you redirect the gap. That surplus cash at the end of the month, it gets funneled into assets, investments that make you money, not liabilities that cost you money. And finally, and this is huge, you build optionality. That 3 to 6 month emergency fund is not just a safety net, it's a power play. It's your I can say no fund. It's psychological freedom.
And this all leads us to the final, most important point. We have to completely redefine the finish line. We've been sold a lie that the goal is just a bigger and bigger salary, but that's just a distraction.
This is the real end game. This is what it's all about. True financial freedom isn't having $1 million salary. It's getting to the point where your paycheck becomes optional. It's when your assets generate enough income to cover your life. The moment you no longer need the job is the moment you gain absolute power over your own life. You have choices. You have real freedom.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. The system offers a deal. Give up your financial autonomy, and in return, you'll get comfort and predictability. Knowing everything you know now about how the trap works, is that a trade you're still willing to make?